It was New Year's Eve in the chapel. There was a job to do, and if you love tall stories, then this one's just for you. Two men worked on New Year's Eve. I won't give you a name, for if the work's not up to scratch, there'll be no one to blame. The job they had was just a task. You might just call it fate. A promise had been given, you see, to remove a fire grate. No singing in the chapel, no preaching in God's house, for you could hear a pin drop. 'Twas as quiet as a mouse. This peaceful time was broken. The silence now was shattered. With hammers banging like two guns, the wall was bruised and battered. This fireplace had worked so well, for 100 years, no doubt, but the time had come for it to go. This grate was coming out. They tugged and pulled this fireplace for about an hour or more. Then all at once it just broke loose to land up on the floor. When the dust had settled, they could only stand and stare. Behind the grate, 3 figures. What were they doing there? Was this sight before their eyes, or were they in a dream? Was this vision real enough, as far as it would seem? They turned away towards the door. They were about to run. Then a voice croaked out, "Don't leave us. We've been here since World War I." They gasped, "Are you the Magi?" They all looked rather old, but one spoke out indignant. They thought him rather bold. "We are all lost deacons. We are glad you set us free." The men replied, "Come join us then, for we are short of 3. They all came out and had a stroll. To the sanctuary they came. It's just as they remembered, things here are still the same. The men asked, would they stay a while? It's then they heard a moan. "We've been here far long enough. It's time we all went home." The deacons left without a word. The men were urged to follow. But who'd believe on New Year's Eve a tale that's hard to swallow? The moral of this story, no matter how one tries, there's always truth in some of it. The rest is porky pies.